Balo hioref galéir a corde, agus fáilte robisteach a ríis, son common Lucas Pellegail Naman, to the 1996 Irish Bank sponsored All-Ireland Senior Ladies Football Championship final replay, and certainly replay being the operative word. Many people wouldn't have dreamed that this super final would have ended in a replay. Both teams had many chances to win the game in different stages. 2-9 to 2-9 was the final score in a terrific game of football played before 14,500 people and possibly even more in Croke Park on that great Sunday. We now move on to Sunday, October the 20th, 1996, and certainly the interest throughout the country has been fantastic in the last 2 weeks. Of course, for Monaghan and Laois, well, it was back to brass tacks again, training a lot longer than they had actually intended for. And for Pat Ryan and for Des Patton, the joint managers, or the managers of both teams, well, certainly the campaign has gone on longer than they had planned. But certainly the football that was served up was only terrific. 2-9 to 2-9, the final score. And I thought that one of the pieces of the papers that I read during the week was the very best of all came from the Northern Standard, and it went like this about the very end of the game. Laois then pressed one last time, spurred by the ravaging of their pride, which would determine if they were to lose a 7th All-Ireland title, and then salvaged a draw through a freakish close-in free kick. As you'll see Lulu Carroll's bang ball going into the back of the net. Well, that piece was written by the Northern Standard. Certainly, it's a game to look forward to so much. There will be a number of changes on both sides for the replay due to various conditions have changed in the meantime. And hopefully, on Croke Park, or in Croke Park on the Sunday, the weather will be as kind to us as it was on the last occasion. What can we say? RTE have given us great coverage. They really covered it quite well on Sports Stadium, both the junior final and the senior final. And let's hope we'll have an even bigger crowd here in Croke Park the next day. But before we start our production in Croke Park, let's firstly sit back now, relax, and have a look at what both the national papers and the provincial papers of both Laois and Monaghan had to say about the game on the particular day as we prepare our build-up for the replay in Croke Park on this coming Sunday. you have it really. That was a fantastic look back at some of the media coverage of the actual All-Ireland drawn game, and certainly we've got to compliment all the media right throughout the country for the marvellous work that they actually did, and certainly some very interesting accounts, reports and some fantastic photographs. But the day has arrived, yes indeed, Sunday, October 20th, and we are back here on the streets of Dublin on our way to Croke Park. Well, as you can see behind me, the water is flowing, and that certainly is the way the weather has been for the last number of days. It has been absolutely torrential rain right throughout the country. I'm sure it won't really affect Croke Park, and as we came up this morning along the road, well, certainly the weather was beginning to get a little bit better, and hopefully it won't interfere with the game today. But we're looking forward now to some of the live action and meeting some of the people as they make their way in here to Croke Park. So let's hope that you'll sit back now and enjoy this video production that you're about to see. So into Croke Park we have just arrived, and Helen O'Rourke, President of Laois Class Gael-Naman, another marvellous day ahead of us, Helen.
Hopefully, just looking at the weather, hopefully the rain will hold off till the matches are over. But I'm sure we have two great games of football ahead of us again today.
Now, what has the reaction been from the last number of weeks? You've met a lot of people, you've seen a lot of the coverage yourself throughout the country.
The reaction to the drawn game has been just unbelievable. I think the whole country seems to be aware that, like, ladies are playing Gaelic football now, and that, you know, we're playing in Croke Park, that everywhere you go they're aware that we have a match here today again, so it's unbelievable.
Looking at the coverage that the RT gave it, etc., obviously it can't but be good for the game.
It was great because the two games were so good, and I think it made people aware that the standard of ladies football is very, very high, and that the skill level is very high, and that the girls, that they're just as committed as the men to the game, and when they go out there they play, you know, pure football, and, you know, they really gave an exhibition the last day.
Now, it's been a very long year for both Laois and Monaghan. Would they both have learned a lot, you think, from the game the last day?
I think they would have. I'd say that they were both there was so much at stake the last day that they were pretty nervous. I'd say today they might be a little bit more relaxed. They'll be more, you know, they know each other a bit better. That's and that, right. And you know, hopefully it'll be another close game and a good game.
Now, if we have another draw, will there be extra time?
Oh, definitely extra time today, and if it's still level after extra time, then we're back for another day.
Tell me, have you been talking to the backroom team or to any of the camps over the last 2 weeks in the meantime, both Laois and Monaghan?
I was talking to both camps, and I think, you know, whereas Monaghan might have felt that they had it won, and they definitely had enough on the day to win it. I think, you know, they feel that they were lucky as well to be there, and that was the 3 points between them when Lulu Carroll scored that goal as well, you know, that they're back for another day. And
so, either way, the cup is going to be going to a new destination, hopefully tonight.
Oh, it's great. It's for the first time in 13 years the cup will be going to a county outside of Munster.
And looking forward to it, Helen?
Really looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now, here with us in Croke Park is the President-elect, Noel Murray from Waterford in Munster. Noel, another fantastic day ahead of us. Were you impressed with the standard of football we had the last day?
I think it was, first of all, I would like to say that the junior game, I think the junior game really had all the ingredients of what is good in ladies football. I think it was a very fast, free-flowing game of football. You know, I think the senior game was good, but I think it wasn't one of the best games that we've ever staged.
Would you say the players were a little bit on the 10 side, maybe?
I would say so. I think it was sort of whichever team came out on top that day, and indeed again today in the replay, I think it was going to be a first for either one of these two counties, and I think that probably increased the tension and the nerves, and as a result I think that maybe the football suffered a little bit. But now that I think it's second time round, and before we go into today's replay, I think that the nerves will be gone, and I think you'll see a truer game of ladies football today. I would certainly hope so.
Now, how do you see it going today?
I think it's still a 50-50 game, believe it or not. I think at the end of the day there won't be any more than a point between the two teams. Now, as far as looking back, as far as Waterford are concerned, yes, they've played both teams, and they've always been great contests. So, you know, looking at the game today, I still think it's a 50-50 game, and I think maybe a point either way at the end of the day, and I think either team will be happy with that.
Thank you very much. Now we're looking again here at the marvellous programme for today's game, with a lovely live action shot on the cover here being held by the man responsible for the programme, actually, Christy, the secretary of the organisation here in Ireland. Come on, Pelton them on. Christy, the programme the last day was completely sold out, I believe.
Sold out, Paddy, before the senior match, unfortunately. we would have sold another 3,000 copies, but every other year, you know, we've been dumping at least 1,000 programmes.
Yes.
So we decided 3,000 would be enough, but unfortunately it wasn't.
Now, what kind of a game are you looking forward to today, Christy? It'll be a tough, close one again, do you think?
It'll be close, but I hope it's not tough.
Right.
I hope it's, you know, a good sporting, skillful game, like, you know, as ladies football should be played. And that's what my wish is for today, you know.
It's going to make a marvellous evening for the side that wins it. Obviously, it'll be the first time ever for either side. Laois in particular have contested a lot of finals over the years, and Monaghan in recent years are in the same boat. How do you see it going?
Well, like, both of them would deserve it. You know, Monaghan have lost 2 finals in a row. Laois have lost 7 over the last number of years. I would think, after getting out of jail the last time, I think Laois will just shade it. And being a Leinster man, you know,
You'd obviously have little inklings towards that.
Exactly.
Christy, thank you very much.
Okay, Paddy, thanks a million.
Yeah.
So here we are now just outside of Croke Park, and the time building up. Some of the Monaghan supporters coming off of Foxford travel there in Rockcorry, and certainly very, very large support here from Monaghan today. Great excitement. The weather has certainly become very, very nice, and maybe we'll meet some of these fans as they come in here, and they might tell us how they feel this game is going to go today. Some of the Monaghan supporters, tell me, when did you come down? This morning, is it? Yeah. And who are you shouting for today?
Monaghan.
Who's going to win this game, ladies? And tell me, were you here the last day? Were you here the last day?
Yeah.
And were you disappointed that you didn't win it?
Yeah. Not really, because we come back again.
Pardon?
Not really, you come back again.
And what part of Monaghan are you from?
Emmy Vale.
Emmy Vale. Have a great day, ladies, and thanks a million. Now with me here all the way up from Cork this morning, Sandra Allen, who was umpire at the senior game during the drawing game, and also today. Sandra, were you happy with the performance of both sides in the drawing game the last day?
Yeah, both teams played excellent football. It was very, very high standard, and I think probably a draw was a fair result on the day.
Now, how do you see today's game going?
Well, I think both teams, there'll be very, very little in it at the end of the game. Maybe a point or two. However, I think it will probably be Monaghan over Laois, even though I would like to see Laois win it. They have been there 6-7 years.
That's right.
And Monaghan have been on there 3. So, like, on the law of averages, I would like to see Laois to win it.
Sandra, thank you very much.
Thank you, Paddy.
Certainly the crowds are pouring in here in a very, very large Monaghan contingent, a very, very large Laois contingent, and it's a bit outside Croke Park at the moment. It's very, very exciting indeed. Now we have some very excited Monaghan supporters outside here. First of all, tell me, what part of Monaghan are you from?
County Monaghan.
County Monaghan. And North Monaghan?
Yeah. In Monaghan town.
Now, how do you see today's game going, girls?
Monaghan's going to Monaghan.
No, what happened them the last day that they get caught like that in the dying stages?
Unlucky, very unlucky.
Now, who are the star players that Monaghan would have at the moment?
Jenny Greenan.
Marie Kelly, Morgan Cairns.
Yes.
Morgan Cairns.
And tell me, what has the excitement been like up in Monaghan, you know, with the last 2 weeks since the drawing game? Has it been fantastic?
It's been fantastic, great excitement. Still, the girls are still boosted up to the last and will be today, even at the end.
And are there huge crowds coming down today, yeah? Anyway, who's going to win it? No doubt in those fans' minds who's going to win it anyway. Now with me a man here who is a neutral to both counties today, but he's travelled all the way from Cavan down to the match. Fintan.
Tierney.
How come you're here today, Fintan?
Because I like football. I follow football all my life, and I think ladies football is tremendous. It's the fastest growing sport in Ireland at the moment.
Now the fact that you're from Cavan, would you have a leniency towards Monaghan today?
Of course.
Yes. What was your impression of the game the last day?
Brilliant. They can talk about Cantona, they can talk about anybody else, but Sue Ramsbottom's goal was one of the best to be.
Will it be the best goal you've seen in years?
No, it's the best goal I've seen this year, let's say.
By far?
By far.
Now, having seen the game the last day and the way it swung about, how do you see today's game going?
Anybody's. A lucky hop, a lucky break. Look at the way Langford lost. Just an unfortunate error and a goal scored against them. They lost the match in the last few minutes.
You're looking forward to it?
Looking forward to it immensely.
Have a great day and thank you.
Thank you.
And there we have some of the Laois supporters coming off the bus wearing the Tracy's Touch jersey, and certainly there is no doubt about it, but there is absolutely unbelievable support coming from right across both counties today, and these have travelled all the way from Laois. Now meeting some of the fans coming off this Laois bus. Tell me first of all, girls, what part of Laois are you from? Are you both from Emo?
Yeah.
Now, were you here the last day, at the game the last day, yeah?
We were, yeah.
Now, what did you think of the game?
It was brilliant.
Was it fantastic?
It was fantastic, yeah.
Do you think you were lucky the last day?
Oh, we were very lucky.
Were you lucky the last day?
Very lucky, yeah.
Right. Now, tell me, having come back the last day with that great Lulu Carroll goal, do you think Laois are good enough to bring it off today?
Definitely. We're going to win today, yeah.
Who's their best player, would you say?
Lulu Carroll.
Lulu Carroll. Susan is very good too, isn't she? Yeah. Now, are you playing it yourself in Laois?
Well, we play with the school team.
The school team, yeah?
Yeah.
And would you love to come back up to Croke Park and play here sometime?
Oh, yes, definitely.
So who's going to win today's game?
Laois!
Here with me, we have great excitement now. I believe that the two of you have got somebody on the panel today, is that right?
Yeah, Ailna Hearn.
Is she on the subs?
Yeah, she's sub. She's meant to be coming in though before half time.
What club is she playing for?
She plays for Courtwood.
No, you're a young lad. Do you play football yourself?
I do, yeah.
No, what do you think of the standard of ladies football here?
It's very good. It's brilliant.
Now, what happened on the last day? Were they unlucky that they didn't win the game?
No, they should have won it. It's just the penalty at the last game was Liza shouldn't have got.
Shouldn't have got it. No. What has the excitement been down in Laois since?
Sorry?
What has the excitement been like in Laois since the drawing game?
Everybody knows we're going to win it because like there's flags up everywhere.
So it's only a case of just out you go and do it, is that all?
Yeah, that's what they have to do.
Well done.
We're going to do
Thanks, bye.
Now we have some more Laois fans here with us. First of all, what's your name?
Emmett Donnelly.
From what part of Laois?
Fisherstown.
Fisherstown.
Gavin Donaher.
From?
Belgrove. Barry Donnelly, Fisherstown, Body Race. Edel Danaher from Courtwood.
Now, what football club would be near you at home where the girls are playing? Are you near Crettyard and Timahoe, are you? Near Courtwood.
Yeah.
Now, were you here for the game the last day, were you?
Yeah.
Emma?
Yeah.
You weren't here. Were you here the last day?
Yeah.
Tell me, what did you think of it?
Brilliant.
Was it a brilliant game?
Yeah.
And were you disappointed that you didn't win it?
No.
Who was the star of the game the last day, would you say?
The goalie.
The goalie had a great game,
Yeah.
hadn't she? Now, how's it going to go today, would you say?
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
Yeah, who's going to win it, though?
Laois.
Laois. Tell me, what's the excitement been like down in Laois all week?
Absolutely marvellous. We had one of the girls from our small club, Courtwood, Aileen Ahern, is one of the subs, and she was brought on last time. And we hope Aileen will play for longer this time, and she'll make the difference to the match.
Now, is there big support up here from all over the county today?
Oh, indeed there is. And from our very small club, we've brought three
Big buses.
Three big buses.
Looking forward to a great evening.
Absolutely marvellous.
And who's going to win the game? Laois! Thanks a million. Now from the supporters back to the association and Mary McGovern, the PRO, another marvellous, exciting day ahead again.
Absolutely, we're looking forward to two great games of football and we're looking forward to a big crowd.
At this point in time, the weather has calmed down and it looks like it's going to be very nice, maybe a little bit windy.
It seems that it's going to be a little bit windy, but as long as the rain keeps off, we'll be quite happy.
Tell me, Mary, how do you see it going?
It's going very well, very, very well. We had a great week.
Yeah, but how do you see the game itself going today?
Oh, sorry. Really, it's very, very hard to pick a winner today. I really think on the day it's going to be Lady Luck that's going to make the decision, you know, once the ball is thrown in. Both teams are, you know, they're so closely contested last week, the week before last. So really, on the day, it's that bit of luck that's going to be the winner, I think.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now with us here, three fans from Ballybritis. You were here the last day, is that right?
I was indeed, yes.
Tell me, what did you think of the game?
It was a very exciting game. Laois done very well.
Yes. Now, do you know some of the players that are actually on the team?
I know a few of them, yeah.
But you're a good Laois supporter, are you?
Yeah, I am.
And were you here the last day?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think of it?
Thought it was brilliant and Laois ladies tried very hard.
And how do you see it going today?
I think they'll win.
How good are the ladies for playing football as a man, do you think?
They're very good footballers now, from a man's point of view now.
So stand this high. Will they win today?
They should win today anyhow, because they had a lot of opportunities the last day that they should have got points. They didn't take, so I think they should win today.
Have a great day, thanks a million. Now, Díreach Teve Mudde Park and Croke and San Achelam, Mihal and Murahortig and Farry and Trachrocht and Radio on Lordanic. Mihal, Clehunta and Lordanic.
Vishe Harbor, agus Dina nach Ravriove Clehenaman Hanna, Winner the Rana Hannavas, agus the Kurshe Unor, a cohort, agus a Vikaidan Pelle.
A Kurshe Unor, a cohort, as Vikaidan Pelle.
The Queer Mar Nila Lawn, the Clehi Pelle, Naman Feke, go Mar Bliantele, the Viklehi Straher Schul, agus Nirair and tucked down. Ach the Kurshe Ununtusarum, go more Vorenish kicking a sair os na lava, Rod nach Feder, there's na Firian of go back there, Vinamana on a Wahigan skill shin.
Now, the goal that was scored by Sue Ramsbottom, you've seen a lot of goals throughout this campaign of 96, would that rate as the best you've seen?
It would. I did mention that during the commentary, that I thought the crossbar's a little bit too high for ladies football, and it might be better at 6 foot rather than 7. But it was a beautifully judged kick that anybody could be proud of, dipping in over the heads of the backs.
Now, coming on to today's game, both sides, I'm sure, will have learned quite a bit from the last day. In relation to having learned from the game, who do you think it will benefit more today?
Well, Monaghan were the better team the last day. I came to the game the last day thinking that Laois, with their greater experience, would be the winners. Monaghan surprised me how well they played. I think that Monaghan will win today, but then replays are very different to the first game often.
And looking forward to an exciting game at any rate.
It should be.
And there, the Laois team have just arrived here in Croke Park. They're reversing back inside. They're going to come back up here now, where they're going to come in the press entrance. Here they come, really excited and looking forward to this as they come out above here. We'll get them arriving out of the bus now. Good morning. Not too bad at all. Here they come, Suran Spotted coming out there, and certainly the team in great fettle. Very, very exciting times. They've got their gear with them for afterwards. And this is a moment, well, that they have been waiting for the past 2 weeks. Some of them very, very nervous. Some of them possibly quite excited. There's Teresa Shiner Swain, woman of the match the last day. And they're bringing their gear. They're being asked, have they got their passes? And they're certainly a very, very tense time for them. Connie Conway gone out there, Mary Wheatley gone in there. Certainly this bus is packed to capacity. Has it been an exciting couple of weeks since the actual drawn game?
Oh, very exciting, yeah. We're all very psyched up now for this, looking forward to it, really. And I think everybody is probably more relaxed today, you know, being here so soon after the last day, and really looking forward to a big game.
You've made a change?
One change today. We retained Mary Kirwan wing forward instead of Martina Phelan.
Right. Now, what did you do in the meantime? Have you trained hard in the past 2 weeks?
We've done a small bit of training, small bit of kind of few set pieces, that sort of thing. And really just kind of talked about the game and looked at the video and, you know, tighten up in areas.
Now, what did you learn from the game the last day? What did you feel was the low point of your play in that game?
And a few areas maybe, you know, things go wrong on the day no matter how prepared you are, you know. But maybe, you know, a few players probably could have played a bit tighter on the day, you know, probably go that little bit harder for the ball, and that's what they're prepared to do today.
Tell me, what did you do? Did you come up last night or did you just come up straight this morning?
No, we came up last night. We done the exact same this time as we did the last time. Come up and we stayed in the West County and just travelled over here now this morning. Kept everything the exact same as before.
You know, the one thing that I have noticed was coming through Portlaoise and coming through Laois this morning, coming up, the flags and the excitement is unbelievable in those towns up along the way.
Yeah, I think really after the drawn game, I mean, there's probably nearly more buzz for today's game than there was for the first game, and people realise now what the football is all about, like, and what's at stake today, and everybody is behind us today.
Will you do it?
We will, yeah.
Thanks a million. The best
Thanks,
of luck.
Thanks.
Now we have another Monaghan coach arriving. This is not the team yet. It's just gone 2 o'clock here outside of Croke Park, and we have a busload of Monaghan supporters arriving just here, coming on to 2 o'clock. The bus here from Clones in County Monaghan, we have who?
Mary Cunningham from Clones, County Monaghan.
Tell me, what brings you all that way today?
I'm here for the pride of County Monaghan and to cheer my Monaghan ladies on. I'm very proud of them as a Clones woman, and I've been involved with the Monaghan football. And we're going to show the men what football is and how well it's played. And please God, we'll bring the cup, the Brendan Martin Cup, back to Monaghan.
Thanks very much. Certainly there's great excitement here. Good luck, Monaghan ladies. And what's the name of this little girl we have down here? What is your name? Michaela. Where are you from, Michaela?
Clones.
Are you from Clones? And tell me, who are you shouting for today?
Monaghan.
Tell me, were you at the game the last day, girls?
I was indeed, yeah.
Yeah, well, what do you think of it?
It was a great game of football, but Monaghan was snatched at the last minute. I think this today will prove that we didn't play to our full potential, but we will today. We're going to bring the Martin Cup home.
Have a great day and the best luck.
Indeed, thank you.
The supporters pour in here in front of Croke Park. We have a Laois man here on a right of pitcher and a Westmeath man on left of pitcher. First to the Laois man. How do you think today's game is going to go?
I think the girls are going to come out on top in the end today, just by a couple of points.
Now, were you here the last day?
No, I missed the last match.
But you've obviously seen it on television since the highlights?
I have, yes.
Right, were you impressed with the standard?
I was. I think they're a very good side. We're lucky to get the draw, but I think they are the better side.
Now, have you been a regular follower of ladies football? Or
both, yes.
Both,
over the last 10 years.
Now, as a Westmeath man, what do you think of today's All-Ireland final replay? How do you see it going?
Rossford Bridge are the team playing today, and I believe
they're playing the club game.
They're playing the club game, and I think they will do the business today.
And what about the senior game?
The senior game, I think Laois will put over that one today.
Were you watching it the last day?
I was here the last day, and Laois was they were the stronger team on the day, and they were just unlucky for they didn't get an extra point to win the game.
Now, can you see ladies football growing in stature when people actually see and believe how high the standard is that they're actually playing?
I think ladies football in today's standard is very high. I really enjoyed the game. I think it was a very fast and clean game here a fortnight ago, and I believe ladies football is really on the way back.
Thank you very much, lads. Have a great day. Now, just outside of Croke Park here, we have a family gathering from the Lukeman family. Of course, Liz Lukeman playing at full-back on the Laois team today. And first of all, as we look to it, on left of picture, we have her sister here. Looking forward to an exciting game?
Yeah, should be good anyway.
Were you disappointed the last day?
More relieved than anything, really.
Yes.
Let's get a draw.
Right. And we have the other sister here in the centre. How has she been all week? Have you been talking to Liz since the game?
She only came home. She went back to Belfast on Monday, and she only came back Friday night. So I haven't seen her at all now this weekend at all.
And
she seems very relaxed enough now. There isn't.
Were you disappointed with the performance the last day?
Well, I was that they didn't win, but sure, at least they got a draw, like you know.
And we have, of course, the youngest supporter probably here today. Your auntie, of course, is playing at full back, isn't that right? Katie, is it? Hello, Katie. Tell me about Katie. Is she aware of this football going on today?
She is, yeah. She loves coming to watch it. She enjoyed the last day great. She thought the atmosphere was great, and she was roaring and shouting and shaking her flag, sticking it in people's heads and everything, weren't you?
Now, is there a chance that Katie might have a young Kyo cousin in a couple of years?
Well, you'd have to ask Brendan and Elizabeth about it.
It's open to speculation,
It is, yeah.
Tell me, this Monaghan team are very strong, though, aren't they?
Yeah, a good side. Plenty of football in them. Transfer the ball well and seem to have better skills than Laois, but you never know on the day. They could be like Meath.
They tend to play better on a wet day, I think. Do you know, they seem to be able for it. You know, they can.
And now tell me, what has the excitement been like down your country since the actual drawn game?
Well, there's a lot more interest in it this year. Maybe it's because the minors won, you
well,
know.
yeah.
But as regards to the men's interest in it, there's a bigger interest this year, like, than other years, you know.
Fantastic. Have a great day, and hopefully you'll be celebrating tonight.
Thank you.
Now, just having spoke with the Lukeman family here, we have outside Croke Park with us Joe Sherry, who is the treasurer and the register of the Monaghan County Board. He's actually awaiting here for the arrival of the Monaghan team. Joe, how soon do you expect them?
They should be here sometime in the next 10 minutes or so.
Now, what was the feeling in the Monaghan camp when you went back after the last game?
The Monaghan camp was a pretty, you know, we thought we had it on the day, but that just in the final minutes, we were, it was a draw, and Lulu Carroll charged that ball in. It was lucky. We were 3 points. We might as well have been only 2 points. We're here today, and I think we can do the business.
Now, a good lot of your players will be playing now for the third time in a row in Croke Park. That should be a very big help, shouldn't it?
Yeah, I don't think we'll be as nervous today. The girls were that little bit nervous on the last day, and I think that we will come out and the team will rally behind everybody, and I think that in an hour's time, I think the Brendan Martin Cup will be on its way, hopefully, back to Monaghan.
Now, assuming it goes back, and from your point of view, hopefully so, obviously you've got great help. Being treasurer of the county board obviously has cost a lot of money to run this present team. Have you got a lot of help from people around Monaghan?
We have got tremendous support from Monaghan people. Our chief sponsors here today are Seamus Waters Electric. We also have different sponsorships. I don't want to name other people because I want to thank them all, each and every one of them. When we got to the semi-final, the phone has never stopped. The two treasurers, my other treasurer, Phoebe Carroll, and myself, have got a lot of money in, and it's still rolling in. I also would like to as Register of both the county and in Ulster, I am the Ulster Council Register as well, getting to this All-Ireland and getting a draw and back here today has give ladies football in Monaghan and in all of Ulster a great lift. The numbers, I believe, next year will rise to phenomenal figures.
Well, let's hope that's the case, and if the trophy goes back to Monaghan, it can only help. Jolly, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. All right.
Now here with me, the chairman of the Monaghan Men's Senior County Board, and a man who has come down here all the way to watch the match today. Aidan, looking forward to it?
Looking forward to it, surely, especially after the game a fortnight ago. It was a very, very exciting game, tremendous skilled football. As people said, it's getting an awful lot of coverage over the last couple of weeks due to the fact that the quality of the football that's been played at ladies level. It's no surprise to me because I have been following it since 1992. It was the first game I witnessed when Monaghan won the Junior All-Ireland. And at that stage, we were talking about the skill. But it has come on leaps and bounds since that. And anyone that's coming to Croke Park today is going to have another thriller, I think.
Now, is there big support from Monaghan? And we'll say from a county board point of view, are there a lot of club fixtures on or off today?
Most club fixtures are off today except for one senior final. Again, that was by agreement by two teams. The county board, at their last county board meeting, tried their best to make sure that there was no fixtures on if possible today, which we played the Hackett Cup final yesterday, which would have been on
today normally.
Yeah,
yes.
Now, the two clubs involved there, Monaghan Harps and Clonus, will be very much involved in the ladies' football as well. And as by the fact of that game we played yesterday means a hell of a lot more support coming here today from Monaghan.
Now, the Monaghan team came in the last day as very hot favourites, and certainly they're up against a very tough nut in this Laois side, isn't that right?
Oh, there's no doubt about it. Like, if a team gets to 6 All-Ireland finals, they have to be a good team, and like, Laois have been there and have the experience. And where Monaghan were favourites, I don't think Monaghan themselves really believed that it was going to be anywhere handy playing Laois, and they certainly had to learn quite a bit in a very short time. It was 3 points to 0 up, and Monaghan started to realise they were in the game, and then they came back to actually win the match, and again a goal in the last second proved that Laois were no fools. They just stayed there and didn't give up. I expect the same type of game today. Favourites in this game, now, I'd have to say you'd be very, very foolish to put your money on either teams at the minute after the last game. But having said that, this Monaghan team are very, very young, and they're very, very experienced. And I think seeing that they have got the draw and the last game over them, they would have a lot of homework done over the last 4.
And you think they can do it today?
I think they can do it today, and hopefully it'd be great for Monaghan if they did. And as I said, hopefully we'll be going home with a cavalcade of cars with at least an All-Ireland from the ladies, and it'll be the starting point of maybe more to come.
Ian, thank you very much. And at exactly 20 minutes past 2, the Monaghan ladies football team are arriving here at Croke Park, sponsored by Waters Electrical, on this Sunday, October 20th, 1996. And there we see Paul Swift right in front of the bus, and certainly a very, very tense moment now for these players as we get up the side of the bus there. You see the AIB, the bus, the flags are up by them. Some of them are very tense, some of them are probably quite relaxed. They had a kick around the Fianna Road ground just a few moments ago. Passes being handled as they come off the bus there. They're heading down in the far side. They might have a little few more. Now they're making their way down here into the actual ground. Here they come off the bus, exciting moments indeed, and they've had a kick around in the Fianna ground, and now this is the day that they have actually been waiting for. We have a client here blocking off in front of us, but they're coming in directly at us anyway, have their passes ready. They're being told, hopefully, when the game is over, well, they will certainly be heading back with happier faces and maybe not look as tense looking as they are now. Hello, ladies. Did you sleep well? Back again, fair play. Best of luck, Maggie. In they head to the dressing room now, and certainly the next 10 minutes will be very, very vital indeed for this squad, who have prepared, I'm sure, very, very well. Welcome back to Croke Park once again. Des, exciting couple of weeks in the meantime for you. Have you trained a lot since?
Yeah, well, we took the first week off and we talked Wednesday night, Friday night. We got back to training on the Sunday night and we did a good session Sunday. Then Monday, Wednesday and Friday we did good training sessions. I'm happy with our preparation now.
Yeah. Now, having looked back on the video again, you know, I'm sure you've learned a lot. Where would you say you faltered on the last day?
Well, to be honest with you, I think taking our safety point was our biggest mistake. We had 5 or 6 attempts at the safety point. 4 points would have done it. We were 3 points ahead and we thought that was enough. It turned out that it wasn't enough. So I give all credit to Laois that came back, and 5 minutes more left. I think Laois could have pulled it out of the bag that day.
And they will take a lot of beating again today.
They'll take a lot of beating today, yeah. One last thing I say, the last day, and I've told the girls, we came up to Crow Park and we were prepared for the occasion. Today, we're prepared for what we have to do today. We're prepared to do a job today.
You've made a number of changes on the side. You must briefly tell us about those.
Right, well, basically, we have 2 new corner forwards, left and right corner forwards. We have 2 running girls, 2 very good ball workers, 2 speed girls. Jenny Greenan has moved back to midfield. Anita Riley has moved to right half back, and Brendan McInnesby, who was better, who was slightly injured the last day, has moved to centre half back. She had a groin injury and we didn't want to push her too much, so she's moved back to centre half back. So we're all in our normal positions now.
And looking forward to the game?
I'm looking forward to meeting Laois again. I presume Laois are looking forward to meeting us. I'm glad Laois have got publicity because they deserve all the publicity they've got. They're a credit what they've done from when we met them in March to September. They've done ladies football proud. I hope today does ladies football proud from both teams.
Thanks very much, Ed. The best of luck.
Thank you.
Now with me, Paul Swift, the Secretary of the Monaghan County Board. It's been a very, very busy 2 weeks, I'm sure, in the meantime, Paul, again, has it?
It's been very, very busy. Phone hasn't stopped. People looking tickets, media people, the newspaper, TV, radio ringing up, looking comments, people wanting to know why the team's been changed, who the changes are, etc. But we've taken the whole 2 weeks in our stride, and we're looking forward to the game today.
And would you win it today, Paul? That's the burning question.
Please God, we will. There's a lot of effort's gone into this team, and we think ourselves we didn't play to our full potential the last day, and we're hoping that we'll do that today.
Thank you, Paul. Looking into the camera. Well, with me, Pat Ryan again. Pat, welcome back to Crow Park. Has it been a long 2 weeks in the interim?
No, actually, the 2 weeks have went very quick. It's amazing when you're looking forward to something, how fast things come around, you know. But the last fortnight has been extremely quick.
Now, have you trained a good bit in Laois in the meantime? Have you done a good few nights?
No, not particularly, no. We just had about 4 half sessions, really, in the last fortnight, just to kind of correct some technical mistakes that we made the last day. That's all we've applied ourselves to.
And you've just had to make one change?
One change, that's all. Just Mary Kerwin comes in, left half forward.
Now, what was the atmosphere like in the camp this morning? You came up last night, is that right?
Up yesterday, yeah, same as usual. You know, same approach. Atmosphere is excellent in the camp at the moment, you know. Girls are really looking forward to it, you know.
And this is your little young lad here. Tell me, did you enjoy the game the last day?
Yeah.
Or were you disappointed when Laois didn't do it?
No, I was happy.
Now tell me, do you think are the ladies every bit as good as the men at the football?
Yeah.
Every bit as good?
Even better.
Even better. Pat, tell me, the atmosphere, you know, they were probably tense the last day. Would you find that they're not as tense as they were now, having had the experience of being here the last day?
Absolutely. We had 3 or 4 players that never participated in the game of football in Crow Park, and now that the occasion has been removed, really, it's just down to the game, you know. And I think Crow Park is not as intimidating today as it was a fortnight ago, you know, so that'll help.
Have you had any look at the picture? Is it a strong breeze blowing out there?
Strong breeze blowing out there, seems to be blowing across field, but basically I'd say it's near enough the same as the last day. I suppose the underground will be much heavier than the fortnight ago.
You would love now if you could put the watch forward about an hour and a half and have the whole thing over, would you?
You're inclined to say that all week, but I think when it comes to it, you're just focusing on getting it started and getting it on, you know.
Yeah. At that point, at the last day, when Lulu stood over her free kick, what were your feelings on the sideline?
Absolutely, sheer delight. I mean, as I said, it was a rob.
Yeah.
And
but before she took it, what were you hoping for, and what were you thinking going through your mind?
Well, I was just looking across at her, and you know, I was just thinking. Actually, I thought there was a little more left in the game. And I had sent one of our officials around to give her the nod. There was a minute left in it, you know. And but the way she stepped up, she didn't notice who was getting the goal.
Right.
But the way she stepped up, she seemed to unintentionally place the ball. You know, she looked across to the left-hand side, and I think she actually saw a gap and just decided to kind of kick the ball towards there without thinking of what the outcome might be, you know.
And little did she think that she'd bring the whole crew back here together, but isn't it a marvellous thing?
Oh, marvellous. And I mean, I think at the end of the day, too, I think a draw was a fair result.
Absolutely.
Across the board, you know. And I don't think Monaghan would deny us that.
Would you expect that it could be another draw today?
Well, I'd personally love to see it go into extra time today.
Pat, Brian, thank you very much and the very best of luck to you.
Thanks very much, Barry.
Now, Mary, Lease selector, we're trying to kill the time, about an hour to go. How are the squad feeling at the moment?
They're fine. They are just gone back into the dressing room there after looking at some part of the junior match, and some need some strapping or whatever now. So they're just going in to get tugged out, relax, and have a little chat.
Yeah. Going home the last evening, or having had your first get together back after the last game, what was the reaction in the camp? What did the players decide to do? Did you have a big chat?
Yeah, we did. We did have a good old chat, and very honest and open chat. And we looked at the video individually, and then we looked at it as a group, and we knew that we made very silly mistakes, and that we let Monaghan come at us a few times, so we hope to stop that today.
Will you win it?
Yes, we will.
Best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Now, just making her way into the dressing room here, a very calm, relaxed Angela Larkin from Carrickmacross. Angela, what's the feeling like in the camp at the moment?
Well, the feeling is I think we're all pretty nervous. We know we have a job to do. It's going to be a hard job. We're well prepared. We think that maybe last week that it was kind of stolen from us in a way, but we're back as good as ever, maybe better.
Now, how did you feel, or just describe to me your feelings the moment that Lulu Carroll kicked that ball into the net the last day?
Well, I was shocked when it went in, but then I thought immediately after we won the ball back, and we thought we might get a point back, but unfortunately we didn't have enough time. The whistle was blown and that was it, gone.
Now, what has the preparation been like in the interim since?
Well, we had two, I'd say, hard training sessions, and then I'd say this week we've been winding down, talking about, looking at analysing the video, things we did wrong, things we did well, players, different styles, the way Laois players play, just analysing that.
Now, if you play as well as you're capable of playing, do you think you will do it today, Angela?
We will do it, no problem. If we play like the way we played against Waterford, we'll beat them.
Thanks very much, Angela. The best of luck to you.
Thanks very much.
Now with me, a very happy chairperson of the Laois County Board, Mary Wheatley. I'm sure very content after the last day, Mary. Great to be back again, isn't it?
Be back again. It's electrifying, really.
Absolutely.
And the team are settled, and they seem that they know they have a job to do. They know that they left it late the last day. And a bit of luck, and we did have the luck the last day, and a bit of luck today. I see that we'll clinch it today.
Now, as a former chairperson of the National Ladies Association, you have been very much involved in ladies football over the years. Are you delighted with the publicity this last couple of weeks have given the actual game?
Oh, indeed I am. Anyway, this is what I've always dreamed of. I thought we would have got it earlier than we actually did. But now it's on board, and I think our game is here to stay, and it'll only improve, because we are now being coached at school level within most counties, well, definitely within Laois. The boys and girls are being coached at the national school level, and then you have Bunchgullen, which are really looking after the young players and the young girls. So I have no doubt that we'll be a force to be reckoned with, and the crowds will no longer be smaller. As we grow, so will the crowds will grow.
Are you thrilled that we're having our President Mary Robinson here today, and of course our Taoiseach John Bruton?
Very pleased, because it's when these people attend our games that people see that that they are part and parcel of our heritage as well, because I mean we're all GA people. I am involved in the GA for years, and I'm involved with the men's club as well. I'm assistant treasurer there, so we're all GA, and that's what we're all aiming for, and they're the mothers of the future.
Absolutely.
And if they're the mothers of the future, surely they will be looking after the players and their boys as well as the girls, if they have an input into it. So I would say that the GA themselves realise that.
Absolutely, Mary. We're looking forward to a great game, and hopefully ladies football will become stronger and stronger through the years.
Grand support again. Thank you very much. I better get back to the dressing room now. Thank you.
Best of luck to you. The trophies, and in particular the senior trophy, the Brendan Martin Cup, which will be going back to either Monaghan or Laois tonight. And up on the left of the picture there, you can see the dignitaries. This is the Art Choral of Croke Park. There we have the head of the AIB, and just to his right is Jack Bootman, chairman of the association, and down, of course, in front of that we have Noel Murray and Christy Burden, part of the organisation. So great setting here. You can see quite a large crowd as we pan right across the lower deck of the Cusick. Very, very large crowd in already as the club game is in motion behind us. We have just arrived onto the side of Croke Park, and there we have the big Laois flag up on the side which says Laois, the home of football. Will it be the home of football this evening? Well, we'll have to wait and see, but certainly marvellous support, a marvellous buzz up there in the Hogan stand, and a very, very eager bunch of supporters, I'm sure, from both sides here in Croke Park. You can hear the excitement building up now. Now maybe you will recognise some of those supporters, but certainly there's huge support here for both Laois and Monaghan. Great excitement. It's exactly 3 o'clock here in Croke Park. The teams are in the dressing room getting ready, but certainly absolutely massive support for both Monaghan and Laois. And as you can see, there's quite an amount of the colours the exact same, and you can see the Hogan stand is absolutely packed. The best, and they're getting their forces wound up as well. I'm sure the players at this stage are in the dressing room, but marvellous support there. You might recognise some of the faces. Now with me here, an exhausted man after just refereeing the Munster or the Leinster senior football final. Pat Morden, the man who refereed the first ever senior ladies final here in Croke Park in '86. Pat, what are conditions like out here today?
I'd say they're actually quite good now at the moment. When we started off, I said the wind was inclined to be a bit strong, but it eased off a little bit soggy in places. But I'd say overall the conditions are fairly good. Yeah?
You're a Laois man yourself.
I am indeed.
How do you see the big game going?
Well, I'd be hoping that Laois would do it. After this is their 6th attempt, I'd be hoping. Okay, I'd say Monaghan were unlucky the last day. But hopefully Laois can do it this year. I'd be hoping that they will do it this time. They deserve it. I think they like say Connie Conway. There's a lot of old warriors there, and they deserve one at least for all their troubles, you know. Great ambassadors for the game.
Thank you very much and well done.
Right, thank you.
Right. Now here on the side of Croke Park, with us from the previous 2 weeks ago, Leitrim All-Star lady footballer Maeve Quinn. Maeve, great excitement here in Croke Park today. How do you see the game going today?
Well, I think the game, much as the last day, is going to be a very close one. I think the papers are tipping Monaghan, and I feel myself I have to tip Monaghan in terms of the fact that the last day they had so many wides, and that's something they're bound to work on. All the same, Laois are probably going to tighten up on their defence, so it's still going to be hopefully another cracker as it was the last day. A very close game, and hopefully as good a football, the brilliant football we saw the last day. It's a good day here. We should see another good game.
Maeve, thank you very much. We'll join you again shortly. And here come the Laois team about to. The crowd have not yet seen them, but being led out by Teresa Shiner Swain, the captain. And here come Laois onto the side of Croke Park. And certainly listen to the roar that greets them. Absolutely unbelievable excitement. Can they do it? That is the burning question. Well, time alone will tell. There's certainly a huge crowd back in behind them. Team shot now, Michael, quick as you can. Mike, team shot. Laois team certainly very eager, sponsored by Cleland's, and how well they're looking, clad in their tracksuits and and out onto the field come the Monaghan team, led by their captain Maggie Caddenson. Listen to the roar that greets them. Unbelievable excitement here, and certainly it's all to... Very tense, eager moments indeed as they settle down and about to pose for a full-size team photograph. And certainly very anxious moments. They've been waiting and waiting. The day has arrived. Can this be Monaghan's day? Who knows? Oh, they're very tense, a very young-looking side, and certainly these next 10 minutes while they wait for the parade will be anxious times for them. Yeah, we can see it. The flags raised aloft in the Hogan stand. They talked about 14,500 being here the last day. Well, certainly there's surely much more than that here today. It's absolutely unbelievable. As we look up the centre now, we're going to see Mary Robinson in just a moment. Referee for today's game, well, Nicky White from Wexford. He's back here again, having refereed the game just over 2 weeks ago. And just to the right of picture from him, you can see the Monaghan team are warming up down here on the side of Croke Park. Exciting moments for them indeed. We have a ground shot of Laois as they also kick around down in front of the goals, and very shortly action will be taking place here in Croke Park, awaiting the arrival now of President Mary Robinson. Taoiseach John Bruton, Taoiseach Nahairn, the head of government, arriving now with Christy Byrne. Great day for Christy Byrne as well. John Bruton, up he comes. It's great to have him here at the game today. Well done, Mr. Bruton. Up he goes the steps, getting a standing ovation. Jack Bootman about to rise above in the presentation box, and the band will be very shortly coming out onto the field now. We see the Laois ladies football team here. Well, they're known as the bridesmaids of Gaelic football, having lost 6 finals. They tell us they're coming to Croke Park today to get married and win the All-Ireland title. And we're just about to announce the arrival of Mary Robinson, who's going to meet the players from both sides here in Croke Park. Brenda McInnesby looking well. There she comes, arriving in. Uachtaráin Nahairn, Mary Robinson making her entrance in with the president of the Ladies Association, Helen O'Rourke. Well, for Helen today, another marvellous day. It's her final year as chairperson of the Ladies Association, as the presidential salute, and there we have Nick, how happy he is behind her. He attends all these functions. You can see the large crowd there up in the stand as she's about to make her way up the podium. She's going to meet first with the captain of the Laois, Teresa Shiner-Swain, and the little mascot. How lovely she looks down there shaking hands. What a happy day it is for her, meeting President Mary Robinson. Now the Laois team lining out as follows. There's Teresa Swain, the goalie, turning around, introducing them to Liz Keogh, Liz Lukeman, and Margaret Phelan. Margaret Phelan, what a great game she had the last day. Alice Brennan, Anna Connolly, Claire Casey, Mary Casey, Lulu Carroll, of course, the woman who scored that great goal the last day. Great excitement for her. And right down the side then there's Mary Keogh, Linda Brennan, and of course Mary Kerr making her debut. There's Connie Conway, a proud day for Connie Conway. Sue Ramsbottom, very, very happy indeed. And to the right of Sue Ramsbottom, Margaret Brennan. Well, Pat Ryan, the team trainer, delighted. So Teresa having a little chat, another chat there with President Mary Robinson. And it's really marvellous, isn't it, Maeve, that she has made it a point of being here today.
It's absolutely marvellous to see Mary Robinson here. This is the second Ladies All-Ireland she's attended, and it's always such a pleasure to have Mary Robinson at our All-Irelands.
Well, she's now just about to meet the Monaghan captain, Maggie Kearns, and you hear the support that Monaghan have. It's absolutely fantastic. Maggie Kearns now introducing her to the goalkeeper, Anna Gavin from Ahabog, Eileen McIlvany, Maureen Kelly, Audrey O'Reilly, Anita O'Reilly moving back, of course, to the half-back line today. Brenda McInnesby, the All-Star, Katrina Brady, Linda Farrelly, Jenny Greenan, very happy smile on her face. Maggie Kearns herself introducing her now to Angela Larkin and Michelle Murphy. Well, for Michelle Murphy, of course, she was the star last night on the actual Pat Kenny show. Linda Gartland, Diane Dempsey, and of course from Monaghan Harps, Lorraine Connolly. And the team trainer, Des Patton, a vet by profession himself, all the way from Strokestown and Roscommon, now residing up in Monaghan for the last 20 years. Helen O'Rourke, very, very proud chairperson, president of the Ladies Association, happy to be walking off with the President Mary Robson, who gets a standing ovation from the crowd. And why not? Because she's certainly there, the flags raised aloft. She certainly has put a lot of time into travelling around the world, around the country, looking after various organisations, and certainly a credit to our country, no doubt about it. You can see a very large crowd up in the Hogan stand. There's no doubt about the very, very big crowd, and they are settling in now very shortly for what hopefully will be a very, very good, exciting game as the teams prepare for the parade.